Welcome back to Business Incorporated on Channels Television. Now, Tanzania may have started recording gains of its tax reform with a record of 11.11 trillion shillings tax collected. The country has also seen increasing compliance among taxpayers during the sixth phased government. The Tanzania Revenue Authority announced that it collected 11.11 trillion during the first half of 2021 in comparison to 9.24 trillion in the corresponding period that was in 2020. That indicates an increase of 1.87 trillion. Now, analysts say promotion of the private sector investments has significantly contributed to the collection of the 2.51 trillion in December last year, which is equivalent to 109% of the targeted 2.29 trillion, despite the devastating effect of COVID-19. To tell us how they did this, we have Samuel Ndandala, Senior Manager, Deloitte Consulting in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, to give us some details. Hello, Samuel. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. You're doing well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Well, I guess it's safe to say these are effective reforms. So can you give us a bit of details of the reforms that the government embraced to see this positive result?
Yeah, I should say it's quite impressive, especially the December results. In the midst of COVID, you have over 100% collection in terms of the target. I think primarily the success has been driven by the digitization drive. A couple of years ago, most of the filing, the payments, and everything else used to be manual. Right now, everything that relates to tax in Tanzania is digitized. So your filing is now done online, your payments are done online. So if there's a delay, the penalty is automatic. So that has really helped the government to streamline not just the collections, but also the information about the taxpayers and be able to react to the changes that are needed. The other key change was that we've now introduced electronic fiscal receipt and electronic fiscal devices everywhere. So whether you're shopping at a petrol station or you're shopping at a small kiosk in the market, you will be required to get a fiscal invoice. And it is a criminal offense not to get that fiscal invoice. That alone increased VAT, value-added tax collections, by 40% over the last 2 years. So those two areas have been really instrumental in pushing up the revenue collections in Tanzania.
So do we say that this is voluntary, or is it the fear of the punishment that has made we see an increase in compliance also? Would you say it is the fear of punishment, or people just trust the system more?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's taxes. Nobody wants to not everybody will want to pay taxes. So there's a mix of coercion and also compliance. But I will say that some years, 2 years ago, we had a massive tax amnesty campaign that allowed taxpayers to come in. Those who were not in the system to pay their taxes declared, they would get an amnesty of interest and penalties. But the Revenue Authority strategically used that process to register new taxpayers. And of course, as you digitize, yes, you're going to get an amnesty, one-off amnesty. But once we have that information, it's easy for us to track that information across the years. But another thing that has happened, and I think it's quite instructive, is that the Revenue Authority here in Tanzania has gone on a massive campaign of sensitization and education. They've designated Thursdays, every Thursday of the week, as taxpayer awareness day, where regional managers, district managers would go speak to businesses, individuals, and other institutions and educate them about taxes, the importance of paying the taxes, when they're due, what they should be paying. And this has really helped to galvanize the awareness. So it's a mix of both. And as you will appreciate, the late President John Pombe Magufuli, who died last year, was very aggressive in his revenue collection drive. So there were serious implications to not paying the taxes, but over the time, it has become more of a voluntary process.
So when you talk about, you said mainly it's because of the digitalization of the process. Does Tanzania have the strong enough mechanism to pursue this? And also, when you say people have to do it online, the infrastructure that is needed to sustain this, do you see this being sustained?
Yes, exactly. I mean, so you have two ways of making the taxes. So one is you obviously can pay using your platform. So there's a revenue authority portal that you log in and you register and you do your filing and you pay your taxes. But on the other hand, there are simplified digital but simplified processes where you're using the USSD. So it doesn't have to be a smartphone. What the government will do is it will create a code that you put in your normal phone as if you're making a call. That way you can make all the payments that you need to make. By the way, of course, across the African region, I'm not too familiar with the exact numbers in Nigeria, but certainly in Tanzania and East Africa, there is an explosion of mobile money. We call it M-Pesa. In other countries it's called Easy Pesa. But a lot of funds transfer from one person to the other through mobile money, and the government has realized that that is a potential. So now you can make payments using mobile money the same way you'd be sending money to a colleague, a friend, a parent, a neighbor. You would pay your taxes that way. So it has really been a mix of not just high tech apps where you have an app and you get into it and there's a portal. No, it's not just that. Of course, that is available, but for a large population that is not necessarily hooked or linked to the internet, you can use your USSD phone. The normal phone you have that is not internet connected can still be used to make payments to the revenue authority.
All right, Samuel, thank you so much. Very interesting strategies there, and we hope that other countries on the continent will just embrace that. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you.